Pete. Alright, you ready, guys? Look at the minimap. Look at the minimap. Oh, that's what we play this character for, dude. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Nick2. Today I'm going to be showing you guys an absolutely insane anomaly power Pyromancer build. Pretty much just as good as it used to be. It's a little bit worse, but you know, we've kind of compensated for that with a couple changes, which of course I'll make sure to go over. As you can see, build is still absolutely crazy. Can still do maps very quickly. Still very good in both a solo and a group context. Overall, insanely powerful. Probably my second favorite thing to play next to Trickster, but they're almost equal for me because they're both a lot of fun. Gameplay at the end. Yeah, not much to say about it other than it's a ton of fun and it does a whole bunch of damage. Before I get into everything, I want to give a big thanks to today's sponsor, which is Advanced GG. Look at this professional YouTube setup with the editing and everything here. I know. If you guys haven't already heard of Advanced, pretty similar to G Fuel in kind of the same space of if you're looking for something to, you know, give you a huge energy boost that also tastes really great, this is what you want to be going for. But Advanced is particularly good because it is the first nootropic supplement with a clinically proven ingredient that is going to improve esports and gaming performance. If you don't already know, like caffeine and L-theanine is actually proven to improve reaction time, stuff like that, but also great for just keeping you focused, energized, etc. And like I said, this stuff tastes fantastic. So there's a whole bunch of different flavors. I'd highly recommend it. And if you get it with my coupon code Nick2, I get a little bit of a commission, so it helps me out a ton, especially with the extra cost of moving. I would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, big thanks to them, and let's just get right into the video. All right, so let's just get right into it. There's a couple ways to set it up, so I'll talk about it real quick. I just got a haircut, and I know that I look stupid. I just smacked my mic, I'm sorry. I know that I look stupid. You're not allowed to make fun of me, okay? All right, I'm glad that we have that understanding with each other. Like the video if you like the video, thanks. Okay, so you want to be playing Heatwave, Overheat, and Ash Blast. The only other way to set this up would be Thermal Bomb instead of Ash Blast. I don't really recommend that because I think that generally this setup is better almost all of the time. That other setup is more of like a debuff-centric setup. I'm not really going to talk about that way to set it up. In terms of where there's variation, it's kind of where the class tree is. So things that you can swap around, you pretty much want to play it like this almost all the time. But a couple things that you could swap around is you could change Trial by Fire into Phoenix Nestling so that you have a cheat death, or you can change it into Chasing the Chill Away, so whenever you kill a marked enemy, it's going to heal you. That's kind of the only things that you can change. Or you could go 2 points up here and get reduced immobilize skill cooldown by 15% so that your Ash Blast is lower CD. You could swap like Extinction and then Trial by Fire and go for that. Or you could even lose cooldown reduction somewhere else. There's a couple different ways to set it up. I think the way that I have it set up is going to be more consistent, I would say. But if you're having survivability issues, literally just swap Trial by Fire to Phoenix Nestling, and then if you're still dying, then just swap to Chasing the Chill Away, and you should be okay. But you have a decent amount of survivability built into the build, which of course we'll go over right now. So first things first, let's talk about guns, because this is kind of the main thing that's changed and the main blow that the build has taken. The main change is that Fortress now, instead of giving you a consistent 3% damage buff, it's now only a 30% damage increase, and it requires you to actually shoot your gun multiple times because the buff has like an internal cooldown, so you have to shoot. You can't just like spray it and instantly get 3 stacks or whatever. You have to shoot increments of 0.2 seconds. And then anytime that you weapon swap, you're not going to have the buff up all the time. They've also changed Moaning Winds to where it has an internal cooldown. So if you use it on one gun and then use it on another gun, they basically share the cooldown across. So you can't just swap weapons twice. I don't think there's a better alternative for either of these solutions, or for either of these problems, rather. I think the solution is still use Fortress. It's still good. You can still benefit from the buff, and you can see me using it in the gameplay. You still get 30% damage whenever it's up. You still get some resistance now, which is actually new. So you get a good amount of survivability from that. And I still think that Shadow Comment is generally just pretty good. So I've pretty much just been playing the same thing, but instead of putting Fortress on my Anemoy, I put Radiation Splash. So now when I swap weapons, it does a whole bunch of damage, it inflicts vulnerability, and it's going to hit with Moaning Winds. And I just swap back, and then while I'm shooting my gun, I'm proccing Shadow Comets, pretty much just in between my skill uses, and getting the Fortress. I think it's better than just not using it. I don't really think there's a better option. If you want to use something else good, you could use Kinetic Stomp, or you could use double Radiation Splash. I think that works. Or you could use, like, I don't know, Claymore Torrent and Shadow Comet by using like fire or something like that. but I think that this is going to be your best bet. But since it's not hugely impactful anymore, you can kind of do whatever you want. In terms of the gear, I'm going to be using 3-piece Akari like always, and everything is pretty much the same. In terms of the 3 pieces that you want to use, I would recommend using the helmet, the chest, and the boots. You could swap off the helmet if you don't want to use Fire Tsunami, which is going to increase the width of the wall. You could swap off the helmet, and I believe you could go for, I don't think I have in my inventory, you could go for the pants, which have Anomaly Echo on them, and then you're kind of stuck with Anomaly Echo, or you can use Radiation Wave. I don't know. I think the way that I have it set up is going to be ideal, but you can swap around which Akari pieces you're using if you want, but generally I would recommend having it set up like this. One of the mandatory pieces, though, is going to be the boots because it has Master Consumer, and that's pretty much what enables this build to do so much damage. Anytime that you consume a burn with your overheat or an ash, it's just going to do increased damage, and that's what makes your overheat do so much damage, as you can see in the gameplay. So in terms of all the mods that we're using to make this work, like I already mentioned, Fire Tsunami so that Heat Wave is larger, and then I finally got a Death Sentence, so we actually are going to do even more damage to enemies that are Ash Blasted. But if you don't have Death Sentence, you can use Ashen Boost instead. It's kind of just a little bit worse, but this is particularly very good because it's just so much extra damage. But Ashen Boost is 20% versus the 30%, so it's not that big of a difference. And then on the chest piece, this is another mandatory piece. You can run the build without the chest, but it's just not going to be nearly as good. The chest has Detonator, so you can just overheat all the time. And then I also have another Heat Wave use on there, so now we have 2 Heat Waves. And then I have just some purple pants. On every piece of gear, if possible, you want to get Anomaly Power, Cooldown Reduction, and then Status Power, because Status Power is going to make your Ash and stuff last a lot longer, which is really good. And then we're going to be using Burnt Out, absolutely mandatory mod. And then Blacksmith is our survivability mod. You can swap this. There's one, I think it's called Trial by Fire, where anytime you use like a skill or anytime you afflict burn or consume a status, something like that, you get some armor and some resistance. This is just going to give you way more armor, but if you want more resistance, you could actually use both of these in tandem with each other, or you can use just this for survivability. I think this is just enough. As long as you play, pretty defensively, you're not like super crazy, this is more than enough survivability, because you have built-in skill leech and you're doing so much damage with your skills that you're pretty much constantly healing. As long as you don't just run into people, you're pretty much fine. And Fortress giving you the extra resistance is pretty nice. And then I have Ash Blast increase range, pretty mandatory. And then I have Untamed Power. Untamed Power is one mod that you could swap out. I have it on because I'm kind of just stuck with it, but I do think that's pretty good. And then, like I showed you guys before, my boots are using Master Consumer and Ride the Wave. So a couple other honorable mentions. Instead of Untamed Power, do something like Bullet Kindling so that you deal extra damage to enemies that are afflicted by burn, which is pretty much all the time. And alternatively, you could use Ashen Boost as well, or you could use, I can't seem to find it, Captain Hunter. Yeah, 25% extra damage to enemies that are elite. That's really good. Right now I'm using 3 Heat Waves. You could also decide to only play 2 Heat Waves and then use Captain Hunter instead of the 3rd Heat Wave. However, I think that's only better for certain maps, and generally for most people that are like just new playing this, or you just want something more consistent, I think having the 3 Heat Waves is better, because then you're always making sure that you get enough Anomaly Power bonus from using your Heat Waves, and it's also a lot easier. But also, if you're playing in a group, that means that you're debuffing the mobs more because there's more Heat Waves, so damage enemies take 25% more damage. But also, Burnt Out stacks, right? So if you're playing against an elite anyway, instead of having Captain Hunter, you just throw another Heat Wave up, and it's basically doing the same thing as Captain Hunter was already doing. However, it is going to be worse for killing elites if you're not, always prioing, throwing your Heat Waves into the elite. Otherwise, there's not much in terms of what else you could swap for. I think there's a T3 mod that, I think Aura of Force, is that the one? I don't remember what it's called. Maybe it's like Circle of Life or something. I don't remember, but basically whenever you use a skill, it gives you some resistance. You can use that one too if you want more survivability. But I think the way that this is set up is pretty ideal. There's a good amount of things that you can swap around, but generally, this is how you want to have it set up, and this is how I have it set up in the gameplay. So, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll probably make a video for the Technomancer build pretty soon here. So comment down below. I've also set up a Firepower Pyro build, so if you guys want to see that, please let me know down in the comments. If you joined the video, please make sure to drop a like. That helps me out a ton, boosts the video in the YouTube algorithm, etc. you have any questions, leave it down below. I'll make sure to answer. And yeah, here is some gameplay of me just doing chem plant. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Kind of pick, or you can just reroll dropout ratio, which is probably better anyway. Isn't this a build better with top tree since you use Ash Blast? I don't really think so. I don't know. Top tree, you have to like time everything a little bit better. Top tree is better for like you play perfectly, but this build's much friendlier to not playing perfectly, if I recall correctly. Get our fortress up. Heatwave the boy. Heatwave some ads for some AP. Ash Blast. Not dead because he's cringe. That's at least my recollection, Chrysler. Either way, they were always pretty close to each other anyway. But, I remember the last time that I played, like, they didn't change the skill trees really, and the last time that I played, I would have recommended people to use the bottom tree, unless they were going for, like, world record stuff and they were really confident in playing perfectly. But you just have to know, like, the timings for when to use Ash Blast, like, perfectly for the map and stuff, which I don't think is as good people that are newer or whatever. Well, I did that pretty fast, huh? I don't have my Ash Blast up yet. It should be okay. Some of that. Oh. Yeah, that was much better. That was much better, dude. Get out of my lobby, kid. Damn, dude, I definitely pounded that kid's mom for sure. Prefer Phaser Beam. I have never once pressed that skill in my life. I watched other people play with it, and I was just like, yeah, I don't think I want to do that. Don't think that's me, dude. Dude, this is the scariest part of this map for sure. Those captains. Playing Captain Hunter would certainly probably make it a little bit easier, but 3 heat waves is just way more alpha. Way more alpha, way more fun. More AP. Alright, you ready, guys? Look at the minimap, look at the minimap. Oh, that's what we play this character for, dude. That's what we play this character for. What's up, Sean? Need something to play? Hey. I don't have anything for you, dude. Either this, Lost Ark, go play New World with a bunch of weirdos. I don't know, dude. I don't have an answer. I'm sorry. Video games are weird. You know, I should probably try to play around the fortress stacking more, but it's fine. Div 3 win? 2025, dude. Swap that Captain Hunter for 3rd Heatwave? Yes, yes. I think it's preference. I think the Heatwave is generally better. The extra Heatwave. But if you play perfectly with 2 Heatwaves, then 2 Heatwaves is better. What am I doing? Oh, it's fine, actually. Need this build? Sure. I'll upload it. What this video's for, or what? That's what we're doing this for. Join my Discord, Damon Ross. Some people are probably doing it in there, but yeah, you might find somebody in chat too. Thank you, Sean. Sean, are you having fun still answering people's questions in my Discord? Every once in a while I go in there and I see people messaging you, or like you respond to something and I feel so bad. Like, dude, this guy's still getting terrorized and I'm not even uploading anything. I'm surprised people even go in there. Like, what are they doing? Hey, man, that's kind of mean. Yeah, get stopped in your tracks, dude. My favorite class, Trickster. Trickster and then Pyro a second. I like them both for different reasons, though. I like them both a lot. This guy just... The Ash Blast just doesn't reach him. That's crazy. I never will, P-Bush. Don't worry. You're not trustworthy, Cap. The amount of people you banned is nutty. Yeah, dude. I'm so unattentive. I don't pay any attention to the Discord. But people, like, message you because there's people that are in there that, like, are trying to scam and crap, right? Come on, bud. I'm out to play, boys. The problem here is that the Broodmother just doesn't get affected by the Ash. So it's just... You know, it's just one of those things you just hate to see. But with a Radiation Splash, we get the vulnerability. I wonder if it would be better to pop vulnerability first instead of waiting. I don't know, but that's a pretty good run for not having played in forever. Not trying to do any speedrun stuff, just playing the game. That's a pretty good run. 5 whatever. With Fortress being nerfed and stuff, that's pretty good. How you doing, Mewtwo? Get any goodies? Probably not. We'll never get any goodies. Thanks for watching, YouTube boys. Dude, no legendaries? How does that happen? Game feel better?